the Trinity Stamps collaboration hop with Cards by Kendra. This is Shanna, and I'm super excited today to be showcasing one of the fabulous sketches found in Challenge 13 of Cards by Kendra in her quarterly card challenge. I had to think of the dates. So her challenge currently is running from January 1st to March 31st, and information will be in the description box below on how you can join in too. I just wanted to do a quick overview really quick of the challenge itself and how I organized for it, and then we'll get into the card I'm making today using Trinity Stamps. So the PDF printout is super detailed and gives you all of the sketches because you use 6 sheets of 6x6 paper to make 15 cards with this challenge. So they're organized, and then you have cut diagrams too for each piece of paper. Like so. And then she gives you a quick reference guide to make sure you have all of the pieces you need for each card. So all in all, it is really well put together. It's one of my favorite challenges to participate in. I've done it before. You get a lot of cards out of 6 pieces of paper with the addition of card bases and solid cardstock for mats. So let's go ahead and show what sketch we're going to be working on today. I actually, for today's card, am going to be working on sketch number 12, which is also in collaboration this round with Sheetload of Cards. I really liked how this all came together. I'm a very symmetrical person when I craft, so this kind of spoke to the symmetry for me. For this challenge, I'm going to be using 6 pieces of the Trinity Stamps double scoop paper pack. It is a paper pack that has some realistic prints on it and some more whimsical cartoony ones. That is also double-sided. A lot of ice cream, cake, there's some watermelon, there's sprinkles, lots of fun in here. I plan on making the challenge all about birthday cards because I need to boost my stash for some birthday cards this year, and this to me was the perfect way to do it. So in addition to the double scoop paper pack, I'm going to be using this Fan-TUSK-tic stamp and die set to go with sketch number 12. Comes with, or it doesn't come with coordinating dies, but there are coordinating dies available for this cute little guy. I am a sucker for anything coffee related, so we're going to use both images in my card today. So after selecting the 6 pieces of 6x6 paper, I went ahead and followed the cutting guide and cut them all down. I did that off screen because it did take a little bit of time, but you have to remember you're cutting paper for 15 cards, not just for one. So I like to organize them in little, actually card bases. So, and then I make sure I label it. So this was paper A, B, so on and so forth, all the way to paper F. 6 pieces of paper comes for 6 letters. That is how she organizes her sketches when she calls for what pieces you'll need. So bringing back the sketch for sketch 12, it tells me I need paper D, and paper F. So there's paper B, D, and F. In addition, I also need a solid mat that's going to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and then I need either a solid card base or a folded card base in order to put it all together. So I will grab those really quick and we will assemble. So for this card, I chose a piece of holographic because I thought it would pull all the colors really well together. And then I have a white card base. Then I need a 1 1/8 by 2 3/4 of paper D. My paper D is this fun rainbow sprinkle border or paper or chocolate ice cream. So looking at these, this is most likely the piece. So 1 1/8 by 2 3/4. Just checking my measurements. So that's the only piece I need from D. Coming to paper B, it's 1 3/4 by 2 3/4, so I'm looking for a rectangle. One 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then for paper F is 3 inches by 1 3/8. One 1 3/8 by 3 inches. So those are the 3 pieces of pattern paper I need to make this card. In addition, it says any 2-inch shape. I chose not to use a circle for this sketch. I'm going to use my adorable little walrus as it, and then I die cut a sentiment to match. Now all that's left to do is assemble the card. We'll set the card base off to the side for a second, and looking at the sketch, I know I have the 3-inch piece of paper there, the wider one there, and then I have rainbow sprinkles. I could alternatively also flip things over if there were other pieces I liked. I am partial to those circles. And I think the chocolate kind of blends in too much. I do like the rainbow sprinkles, which means I'm going to flip this back over to yellow ice cream. Makes me think like a lemon sherbet. And then I'll have the sentiment, and of course, let's not forget his coffee. I'm going to mainly be using my Trinity tear tape for this because it does make the assembly really, really quick. You could alternatively use a wet adhesive like the Trinity Glue Friend or whatever glue you choose to use in your craft room. So then I am just centering this to where my border or my mat on all 3 sides is the same, because what that does for me, since I can center on 3 sides, it gives me an idea for my gap because they all match. Just going along and releasing the release paper. I really actually enjoy using sketches sometimes in my card designs, mainly because I can go on autopilot and really just play with the product instead of working on the design at the same time. Believe me, there's plenty of times I enjoy designing it too, but every once in a while you just want to take some of the thought out of it. You just want to grab a product and play. You want to have your walrus or another stamp and just color and put together a card. You don't want to think about the math involved. You don't want to think about any of the other design elements. You just want to create. Or you're short on time and you know you won't have time to do all of the math and design work. That is where sketches really pull through. And this sketch challenge really helps because you get 15 sketches all at the same time. Since she does provide all of the measurements as well, it allows you to use the sketches individually on a future use too. You don't have to do all 15 at the same time. I decided the walrus needed to be popped up a little bit, so let's go ahead and grab some foam tape. So similar to how we look at the circle here, I'm just kind of centering him where I think he looks good, and then we get to place the sentiment. We can go there, we can go there. I actually think I like it kind of in between these flippers. So in order to make that happen, I need a really skinny piece of foam tape. To come down at this end. And opposite of that, we're going to put a little bit of wet adhesive. The reason is part of this is already popped up on the walrus, and the other part needs to be supported to be even and level. Now our little coffee cup, I think, it's gonna go right at the juncture. All right, that finishes the core of the sketch. All that's left is to mat it onto a card base, and that finishes up the card. This card sketch comes together relatively simple, right? So I did want to show you how you can use scraps from things that aren't 6x6 to make another card. In this case, I'm using some of the slimline paper from Trinity Stamps. I believe this was Dots and Stripes in the bright colorway, but any scraps work for this, because if we come back to the sketch, we have all of the measurements written out as well. So you don't have to follow the cutting guides on the 6x6 paper, like I was saying earlier, to create with these sketches. So I grabbed some yellow and oranges because I knew I wanted to play with our new Great Grater Greatest stamp set. Has this adorable little block of cheese with a grater and a bunch of honey sentiments. This came out with Trinity's newest release, and it's been a lot of fun to play with. So these are just scraps. These are also double-sided, so I have stripes or polka dots to play with. And what I did was matted it onto black, and then I punched out that circle that you saw in the sketch and stamped our little cheddar guy on there, making a second card. All I have to do is glue it all the way together, and you can see how this relatively quickly comes together as well with just little bits of scraps of paper. I hope you enjoyed today's projects. Be sure to check out the description box below and hop along for a chance at some prizes. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye-bye.